from all around your lawn. I'm here to tell you how football is.
Good morning. Welcome again to another GDFL Footy Show coming at you out of Geelong on a beautiful Saturday morning. Yeah, the rains are gone and it's a beautiful Saturday morning. Looking forward to a great afternoon in local footy indeed, as we're really stepping up the pace now as we head towards the finals action for 2012. Last week we saw some big games, a lot of good results by the full forwards in the competition last week. Out at the Ring Road Recreation Reserve, the Bell Post Hill Panthers, absolutely too good for the North Geelong Magpies. They stuck with them for a little while, but they were just too good at the end of the day. Joel Page for the Bell Post Hill Panthers, kicking 6 goals. With Sean Lewis, the Evergreen, absolutely best on the ground, blitzed the North Geelong Magpies just about all day. Inverleigh Hawks, much too good for Winchelsea. No surprise there, but the Hawks are really making a late dash towards the finals now. Matt Carr kicking 9 goals and Zach Hickleton 5. A great effort there, 14 goals between those two Inverleigh personnel. Anarchy Roos, much too good for Cry, with Yelchin Persic kicking 8 goals and Daniel Berg 7. So a great effort there. Anarchy getting back to some form again against the hapless Cryo. And Thompson Tigers, yes, those Tommy Tigers, the boys from the Thunderdome. The Violet Crumbles absolutely obliterated the Geelong West Shooters, with Lucas Forbes once again getting a big bag of goals. 10 goals, 12 he kicked on Saturday. A magnificent effort there by Lucas. And Werribee Centrals, well, the Ducks, they were much too good for Belmont Lions. But we did hear that Chris Canavan, unable to play in the game, made a big difference to the Lions. Blake Pilkington kicking 4 goals, and 4 goals straight, actually, for the Werribee Centrals Footy Club. Hello, I'm Dick Philpott, and once again, I have assembled some of the biggest names and brains in local football to eradicate, adjudicate, communicate, and definitely not procrastinate. And of course, the man who needs absolutely no introduction, he's the #1 commentator in country football, Eric Nicholls. Good morning.
Good morning, Dick. Nice to be back again.
Yeah, great to have you back again, mate. And the other man I'm going to introduce to you, he is so short that he is the last person to know when it rains. Yes, I've been dying to do that gag for a long time. I thought that was hysterical, actually. And of course, I must be talking about the little man himself, Grubby Cations. Good morning, Grubby.
I tell you what, I don't reckon I'm that short. Really? You're going to keep going with this all year, are you?
I'm going to keep going, mate. I've got a million of them, mate.
Hey, it's a little bit like play school, isn't it? What are you, the new Patsy Bisco? I'll tell you what, I don't reckon she'd have gone up and sang at the GDFL Grand Final and made a galah of herself like you did, but...
Well, I mean, I must admit, 2000 I did that, and I sang at the Grand Final, but they replaced me by the Newtown Pied Band the year after. I don't know whether that was trying to tell me anything or not, hard to say. Well, of course, the big game last week was the Bannockburn East Geelong game, and of course, Ross Dillon, magnificent, the Evergreen, best on the ground. But we're not talking to him because Eric Nicholls found Ronnie Pilgrim, and they did a great interview there. Here they go down.
Bannockburn versus East Geelong. Magnificent game here at Victoria Park. Just completed. A very, very happy co-coach, Ron Pilgrim, joins me. Welcome, Ron.
Thanks, Eric. Good to be here.
A fantastic win, Ronnie, in a game that at one point you looked as if you only had 17 players, but umpire changed his mind quarter time, back to 18 players, probably in trouble to half time. What did you do to turn them around after half-time? Great second half.
Yeah, look, mate, I just said that I thought we've been pretty good most of the year, but in patches, like in quarters of footy, and you know, we believe we can finish reasonably high in the ladder, and I just said to the boys at half-time that if we can continue to put East Geelong under some pressure, and I thought we're outstanding when we only had 17 players on the ground. Our intensity and our contested footy was really good. We won the second quarter, being a man down. So I just said that I thought we were a lot fitter and quicker than those blokes, so that if we could win the contested footy and get our 18 back on the ground, I thought we could get away with the win, and that's how she turned out.
As a co-coach, you take some credit, but your other co-coach, Rossi Dillon, on one of the leading full forwards in the competition in Lucas Murphy. Great individual contest. When the ball was there to be won early, Lucas a little bit quick. What a great last 3 quarters for Ross.
Yeah, I thought Ross was outstanding. I'm not sure whether Lucas actually even got a goal. But we earmarked Ross to play on him from the start, and Ross has only played 5 games for the year. He's been injured a lot, and look, mate, he's an outstanding player and a great leader. And yeah, we thought he was best on ground today, and it was an outstanding game on Lucas.
Another aspect of your game that I like particularly, you've brought some kids into the side, and I'll mention Brauman and Tyquin. Brauman in particular in the third quarter when the game was really in the lap of the... He really stood up for you.
Yeah, mate. They've both been outstanding kids, and I don't know whether people noticed, but we actually put them both on the footy at half-time, and so in the third quarter they ran most of the quarter on the ball, and they're outstanding prospects, and, you know, I think we're lucky that we've got them. You know, I think they probably should be down at the Falcons and playing good footy down there, and Jack was outstanding, and Matt, you know, Matt's been picked in the Vic Country under-19 squad, and, mate, they're going to have great futures, and we're just lucky that we've got them at the minute.
But you take all you can get, Ron, don't you? Your defence, I thought most of the day very, very good, but again in the second half, outstanding.
Oh, definitely, Eric, and you're spot on. You know, we looked at our points against for the year, and we're actually equal second in the competition for scores kicked against. So our defence has been really good, and it was outstanding again today. And we just thought, we knew they'd stand up. We just needed some goal kickers, and today, we had multiple goal kickers, but defence has been outstanding all year.
The last time I called footy is a couple of years ago, certainly. Matt Watts was one of those running defenders. Somehow you've made him into a running forward. He seems to have more time now to make decisions. I think a much better player for the team.
No, definitely, Eric. And look, Matty's, for his size, he's probably 6'1", 6'2", and a lump of a kid, but he gets along the ground very quick, and he's got a great leg on him. And we just thought that to free him up from defence, because he sort of panicked a little bit under pressure. But we're using him to our advantage, and look, and he's having a great year as well across the forward line, which is good.
And finally, to be the side above you at a crucial time in the season with 6 or 7 games to go, how important was that win?
Oh, massive, mate, massive. And look, there's been question marks about us during the year with not beating sides above us, which is understandable, and that was part of our pre-game as well. That, if we think we want to go anywhere towards the end of the year and in the finals, we need to beat a good side, and we were close against Belpo still. Thompson beat us by 40 points, but I thought we had moments in that game where we could have won. But yeah, it was very important that we beat a quality side today.
And magnificent interview there from Eric Nicholls with Ronnie Pilgrim. Well, it was Ronnie Pilgrim, actually. I was getting mixed up before with Ross Dillon. A great interview there. And, of course, Bannockburn going along very nicely at the moment. We're going to take a look at the ladder now, see where everything's at the moment this time of the year. And, of course, we see the Tommy Tigers still on top with 10 wins undefeated, but they've had a draw, so they had a sniff of nearly getting beaten. Belpo still, they're getting back to their great form of 2011. Don't you worry about that. Werribee Centrals, East, Geelong and Bannockburn make up the final 5. Now, Anarchy's knocking on the door, just a little bit of percentage out, so they're creeping along there very nicely. North Geelong must start winning some games. They're 1 win and a little bit of percentage outside, followed by Inverleigh, who have a slim chance of making the finals, and then it's goodbye to Belmont Lions, Geelong West Sporting Club, Corio and Winchelsea looking very difficult to see whether they're going to open their account in 2012, the boys from the Gun Club, and it's very disappointing for them indeed. And I'll just very quickly, Eric, it is a little bit tight, that 5th position at the moment, isn't it?
Absolutely, Dick. There's probably 4 sides vying for 2 positions at the end of the final 5.
Yeah, very interesting indeed. I said North Geelong Magpies are going to start winning some games. They're going to start this afternoon. It'll be very good. Speaking of that, it'll be a magnificent occasion out there today called Yabby Day, and I'll tell you what, we'll tell you a bit more about that after the break, which we'll take right now, pay some bills, and be right back after this.
We are the Raiders from all around Geelong. I'm here to tell you how football is strong.
And welcome back. And of course, every time this week we have the Colts segment. We haven't got Mitch this week. He's gone on a holiday up to Queensland somewhere, and we don't even know who it is. It's a big surprise, but here he comes now. I'm sure he'll do a very fantastic job. Don't you worry about that.
Thanks very much, Dick. Rawlo's sitting in for Mitch this week on the Colts Report. Let's have a look at Division 1. The top 2 matches in Division 1 will see 2nd place Colac take on 5th place St Joseph's down at Central Reserve in Colac. It'll be a big game on the big oval, while 3rd place Torquay travel down to Burdu Reserve out at Grovedale for a must-win match against 6th place Grovedale Tigers. It'll be a battle of the Tigers. Should be a beauty. In Division 2, where Grubby's beloved Werribee Central sit on top of the ladder, we will see the other top 4 sides play each other. 2nd place Geelong Ammos visit West Oval to play 5th place Geelong West St Peters, and 3rd place Bell Park will play host to 4th place Leopold. One thing for sure though, Grubby, Werribee Centrals will stay on top of the ladder. In Division 3, clearly the big clash is between topside Inverleigh as it visits Geelong's MCG out at the Mottawarri Cricket Ground to play it out with the 3rd place Mottawarri. A very tight game between these 2 sides. And finally in Division 4, the biggest challenge of the season faces 5th place Corio in its battle against 3rd place Grovedale out at Burdu Reserve, and this one is tomorrow morning. That's Sunday morning at 10:30. That's the Colts Report this week. Mitch Scoop Cleary will be back with you next week. In the meantime, it's back to you, Master of Ceremonies, Sir Richard Philpott.
And thank you to our surprise Colts presenter, and I'm sure that Mitch will be back again next week with everything that is Colts footy in the Geelong region. Well, we've got a very special guest on the show this morning who really is representing a very good cause, and the North Geelong Footy Club have taken up the mantle this Saturday or this afternoon, and they're going to be wearing a very special strip, I should say, which will be all about Yabby, which is Youth and Bipolar Initiative. and it's a tough times talk-up round, which is the other way they put it. I've got the CEO of Yabby with me this morning. He's also a North Geelong footballer. Wears number 8 for the fabulous Magpies. Geordie Heiss. Good morning, Geordie.
How are you, Dick?
Great to have you on the show, mate. Now, I'm going to let you do most of the talking because I confess this is rather new to me, but it's a great cause, and I know that bipolar and mental illness is a very serious thing, and it's very close to the heart of a lot of people, and particularly that it's you've got the opportunity to bring it into local footy, that hopefully we can promote the cause and get something out of it.
Exactly. So yeah, this round we're having in the GDFL is called the Tough Times Talk Up round.
Yep.
So YABI, it stands for Youth ADHD Bipolar Initiative. We're about promoting mental health awareness in Australia, and we provide a gateway for sufferers that might need some further help if they're suffering some symptoms of mental health. So.
Okay.
This week down at North Geelong, we're playing East. Obviously, going to be a big game down there.
Yep.
We're hoping get a big crowd down there. North Geelong will be wearing this special strip we've had made up.
There, mate. Let's have a look at it. Yep.
You ready?
Hold it up. Yep.
There we go.
Fantastic.
I'll just get the sponsors in, so they'll be happy with me.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
Perfect. Snooze, Geelong and Warm Ponds.
Lovely. Yep. And you got it, and all the jumpers all the same. You haven't got one for me out there, have you? Just in case you need me to run around.
We didn't have a size.
No, fair enough.
Sorry,
don't
Dick,
go.
sorry, mate.
That's all right. Now, how long have you been involved with Yabby?
Look, probably a couple of years we've been involved. Yep. A mate of mine I went to school with, he started, and then together we joined forces and really promoting it in Geelong and Melbourne. So it's going quite well, and we're getting a lot of support through our online platforms like Facebook and through our website. So it's going quite well.
Is it? Did you get involved as a result of something that was close to your heart, that something happened to a family or friend?
So the reason the other director started it, the founding partner, he went through a mental illness himself, and myself, I've been in touch with mental illness in my family. So we've sort of got both sides of the spectrum there, someone going through a mental health condition and then someone that's caring for someone, and it's quite traumatic. So where we come into the sort of scope for mental illness is providing a social environment where you can talk to people that have similar experiences, whether it be a carer or going through something yourself and sharing similar experiences.
Geordie, it's great that North Geelong are happy to take up the initiative and use their home game against East Geelong. Is it something that you would like to see get involved with the other leagues as well around Geelong?
Absolutely. Look, this is given a play from North Geelong, something pretty close to my heart, and North Geelong we're great in promoting it as well as the GDFL. So yeah, if we can promote it around Geelong, we see it going through Victoria and nationally ideally. So it's got a lot of potential. Yeah,
did I see somewhere on a website that AFL are involved as well, or the Geelong Cats?
That's right. We're lucky enough to have Billy Brownless, our main ambassador, who's come to a lot of events of ours in the past, and we've had some press photos during the week with Simon Hogan, who's going through mental illness himself, and has been doing a lot of good work in promoting awareness. And Alan Christensen was helping us as well. So hopefully that's been in the papers this week.
Yep. Now I guess the GDFL, you said they got right behind you, and there's probably going to be something in the footy record this week. People that go to the football on Saturday at North Geelong, is there any sort of way that they can contribute, or is there some sort of is the admission going to be donated a little bit towards the Yabby cause?
Yeah, definitely. North Geelong's getting behind it. They're donating a percentage of the entry fee, and we'll have tin shakers around the ground. We've got a decent raffle, including lots of Geelong Football Club merchandise, signed stuff, and we're hoping Billy Brownless will sneak down at the end of the day and help us with an auction. So yeah, we're looking forward to a great day. Having
someone, a front man like Billy, is very important when you're trying to promote a good cause. And I would imagine, having known Billy personally, that he's the sort of guy that it would have been easy to get involved, because he has a funny side about him, but he's got a very genuine side about him. He does.
As well. Look, yeah, he has a massive heart, and obviously, given how approachable and how casual he is through the Footy Show and different media engagements, he's so personable and encouraging the community to really support our cause. So we're really appreciative of his support.
Now I'm going to put you on the spot, Geordie. What's going on with the Magpies at the moment? We're not winning any games.
Yeah, mate. It's a tough time at the moment. We've had a few players unavailable. Mate, it's no excuses. We need to win this week. We're looking forward to the challenge. So hopefully come home with a wet sail.
Good on you, mate. Well, Geordie, all the very best for the cause of Yabby, and which stands for Youth and Bipolar Initiative. It is Tough Times Talk Up round, and I'm very proud that North Geelong Footy Club has got involved. I'm even more proud of the fact that one of our own players in Geordie Heiss has taken up the challenge as well. I wish you all the best for this afternoon, mate. I wish the whole initiative all the very best as well in the future, mate.
Thanks so much, Dick. Appreciate your help.
Hopefully people down there can really get those tins rattling and put some money in and help something that's very, very close to everyone's heart, bipolar and mental health illness. It's fantastic indeed. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll talk to the boys and the little short man, of course, about all the action on this afternoon. Back after this.
We are the Raiders from all around Geelong. I'm going to tell you how football is strong.
And welcome back. Yes, we've got a magnificent round of footy on this afternoon, and nothing bigger than that at the Keith Barclay Oval. It's the 94.7 match of the day. It's the North Geelong Magpies. Boy, do they have to win some games starting right now. They take on the East Geelong Eagles. And I'll go to you first, Eric. If this is not a danger game for North Geelong, I don't know what is.
It's more than a danger game, Dick. It's a vital game because 4th versus 7th, it's imperative that both sides win this game. And that can't happen, obviously. But I think the result of today's game will have a huge bearing who finally gets to play finals football. The interesting aspect, Grubby, that we saw Murphy take very little part in the game last week, well held by Ross Dillon. I see also Briggy didn't get any goals for North Geelong, so they're key players today, and they'll take a big part in who wins and who loses. Well,
my word, they will. We obviously didn't see Briggy play, but if he didn't get any goals, who knows? He may well have played a fair bit up the ground, but Lucas Murphy, he started off, he looked like he was going to really take him apart. He had too much pace for Ross Dillon, but I just don't think they delivered the ball too well for him. They delivered it in the air all the time, which is tailor-made for Ross, and he just kept spoiling him. But look, I give North Geelong a real chance here. I think it depends on which East Geelong turn up. If the East Geelong had turned up that we saw last week against Bannockburn, I can tell you now North will bowl them over, because they weren't that good last week. But if they go back to their other form, it'll be a top game.
East need more than Lachlan, O'Toole and Robertson as good players, don't they? Their other players have got to stand up today.
Oh, my word. And look, Lachlan was fantastic last week. O'Toole was good. But look, Closter was fantastic too, although he died out a little bit. They've got to play 4 quarters. If they go out to the Keith Barclay Oval and not play 4 quarters, they'll get beat.
And conversely, North have got to have a bit more support for Fitzsimmons. He's carrying them.
Mm. Well, he is, and he gets a lot of possessions, and look, he is a very, very good player. But yeah, they do. I think when we saw him against Werribee, they probably didn't have enough contributors. The first half was dismal. The second half they played a little bit better, but they just didn't have enough contributors.
So, Grubby, it's a tough times talk-up round for Yabby. It's out at the North Geelong Oval. Where are you going for, officially?
I'm going to go for East.
Yep.
Just.
Eric?
Yes, I'm just as well.
Oh, geez, you blokes, you just don't like North Geelong. I know what it is. I know what's going on.
We like North. It's just you, Dick.
Oh, here we go. See, that's an old Jason gag, that one. You've been going for that one for quite a few years now. Well, if you can't get out to the Keith Barclay Oval this afternoon, folks, you can tune in to 94.7 The Pulse at 1:30 this afternoon for a live and uninterrupted description of this fantastic game with Jason Doherty, Grubby Cations, and, of course, the #1 commentator in local football, Eric Nicholls. Will be a fantastic call indeed and a very good game. Hopefully, a little bit one-sided by the Magpies. I'd like to see that happen. Be fantastic indeed. Out at Victoria Park, the Bannockburn Tigers, gee, they looked all right last week against the East Geelong Eagles. They take on a much improved Inverloy. I'll go to you first, Grubby. Obviously, a slim chance that Inverloy could make the finals. That's a word I don't use very often, is slim. I can tell you, it doesn't come into my vocabulary. Don't look at me like that.
Neither it should.
Do you give Inverloy any chance, and can Bannockburn continue on with this good form?
Oh, both. I do give Inverloy a chance. By the way, did you give a tip for that last game?
Oh, I think North Geelong by about 10 goals.
Weren't quite sure, yeah. No, look, yeah, both. Inverloy are playing pretty good football. Bannockburn, last week Bannockburn were terrific. And had they have lost last week, I'd have nearly went for Inverloy today because they're really playing well. As we said last week, mathematically they can make it. And whilst they've still mathematically can make it, Smithy will have them up and running. Out at Bannockburn, I'm going to stick, hopefully, with their form, Eric, and hope they can continue that on and beat Inverloy. They just have to do it.
Well, listen, crucial games, Grubby, and for Bannockburn today is crucial. They lose today, they get into the area where they may not make the final. So it's a great game for them. Inverloy, on the other hand, we said 2 or 3 weeks ago, their form was coming good and they could play a big part in who does play finals.
No, well, I reckon the Tigers, for me, I think that they'll win, but I'd love to see, for Smithy's sake, Dale Smith, their former commentator on the Footy Show on Saturday morning. I know he's very passionate about his coaching and going all right at the moment. I think the Bannockburn Tigers might put pay to any chance Inverloy have of making an assault at the final 5. Up at the Duck Pond, it's the Werribee Central's Ducks, and they take on Belpost Hill. Belpost Hill, Eric, they're back to that form from last year. They're looking awesome at the moment. But up at Werribee Centrals, you never know what might happen up there, do you?
No, Dick, and we saw this in round 1. We saw the game at Belpost Hill, and Werribee took it right up to Belpost Hill for half a game, and then perhaps the class of Belpost Hill stood out. I suspect, just looking at things, Belpost have probably gone up another notch. Maybe Werribee haven't gone up quite that far. So I'm prepared to say Belpost Hill could win and win well this afternoon.
Righto, Grubby, come on. Werribee Centrals, I know you're going to say they win. Why are they going to win?
They've improved from the last round. There's no doubt about that. As a matter of fact, they've been improving every week. It took them a fair while for these blokes to gel with each other. They're starting to do that now, and they're playing pretty good footy. But they're just not playing well enough to beat this mob.
Okay, yeah, they're pretty good, the Belpost Hill Panthers at the moment. I'm going to go for Werribee Central. I'm going to stick what's left of my neck out and go for the Centrals, mate. So,
well, mind you, if you're right, that'll throw out any worries about Werribee Centrals not making the 5. If they win to this week, they will make it.
That's right,
without a doubt.
Very important game indeed. Out at the Winter Resort, the Belmont Lions, they take on the all-conquering Thompson Tigers. And as I said to the floor manager in the break, they should look at this as a grand final, because whoever can knock off this Tommy Tigers mob and can't make the finals, at least they get something out of the season. Do you give the Belmont Lions any chance, Eric?
Not very much, Dick.
Thanks very much.
The only fact that they're playing at home, and Belmont Lions at the Winter Reserve are often hard to beat, but this Thompson side's playing pretty well, and Luke Forbes, I don't see anyone in Belmont that could hold him.
And we say it all the time, we could nearly say they're a one-man side. We're allowed to say that, Grubby, because anyone who's kicking 10 goals, 9 goals, 11 goals, 12 goals, he's got to be pretty good, doesn't he?
Well, he is pretty good, but don't make the mistake. They're not a one-man side.
I know, we don't get the Thompson president.
No, they're not a one-man side. They're a two-man side. They've got Brent McLeod.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I give Belmont a chance? Not even if it was played on Myers' rooftop.
Myers' rooftop?
Not a chance in the world.
They still got a merry-go-round up there and a play. Kiddies fun park. You'd be right up there with the kiddies fun park too, wouldn't you?
They might mistake me for one of the kids, you reckon?
Actually, I went to a good restaurant the other night, Grubby. You'd be interested to know this. They've got booster seats for small people, so you might want to have a look at it.
Oh, here goes Patsy Bisco again. Good on you, Patsy.
I'll let you know after.
Sing us a song, Patsy.
Unbelievable. Out at the Devils Playground, the Cry Devils take on Winchelsea. Is this Winchelsea's chance, Grubby, to win their first game for the year?
Oh, my word it is.
Yep.
My word it is, because where are they playing again, Eric? It's not like in the fixture.
Actually, no, I do apologise. It's out at Winchelsea Gun Club.
It's at Winchelsea Gun Club.
So a big chance.
Yeah, I was going to do a bit of a piece on Winchelsea, saying that they probably won't win a game because they've got the lower sides away, but not realising that they do have Corio at Winchelsea this weekend, and I think this could be one of their last chances to get a win. We hope they do get one. But I think Corio had just played well enough against Anarchy last week to suggest they can beat Winchelsea out there.
Wouldn't it be great for them to win out the Gun Club, Eric? They really need a win badly, don't they?
Oh, yeah, for the sake of the club and all concerned, they definitely need a win. Corio have been down, and as Grubby said, today's the opportunity perhaps for Winch to get one, but gee, I think unfortunately Corio might just get home.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be nice to see the Blues win, but we wish them all the very best, but probably most of us would think Corio would be too good. Out at Footrot Flats, the Anarchy Roos take on Geelong West, back to a bit of form, Anarchy, one would think, even though decimated by injuries, Eric.
Yes, absolutely, although one or two of their players have come back, and they've found a bit of form last week, which was excellent for them, because they need to keep winning to get that place in the final.
In a word, Grubby.
Anarchy.
Fantastic. Well, that's it for this morning's show. Don't forget, if you can't get out to the North Geelong Footy Ground, the Keith Barclay Oval this afternoon, 94.7 The Pulse, your home of country football. The North Geelong Magpies taking on East Geelong and Yabby Day. It's Talking Tough Times, and it's, what's it called? Youth and Bipolar Initiative Day, with North Geelong wearing a very nice strip indeed, and all the proceeds go to mental health and illness, which will be fantastic indeed. Have a great afternoon, Eric.
Thanks, Dick. We'll look forward to that day.
You had a great afternoon too, Grubby. And the one thing about you, you'll never have to worry about getting your head cut off by a ceiling fan.
I wish you would.
I just get funnier every time, folks.
Bounce off your bomb head, I reckon.
All right, you have a great afternoon in footy, everybody, and hope your footy team does win. See you all again next Saturday morning. Bye for now.
We are the Raiders from all around Geelong. I'm here to tell you our football is strong.